What's good? What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Urban Platform Speaks. Make sure to like and subscribe as you tune into the channel and check out the content. And with that being said, man, I want to speak about Russell Westbrook and his retirement, right? Now, Russell Westbrook, in my opinion, is one of the top point guards of his era. Um, I don't know, probably a couple guys, one or two guys I would put ahead. I'm probably let me see who was a better point guard. Maybe Chris Paul, was 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 a better point guard. But other than that, I'm trying to think. I don't know. He was one of the best, right? And Russell Westbrook always played hard and played with a lot of energy and a lot of passion. Now, LeBron James, once he found out that Russell was retiring, he sent out a message congratulating him, right? And so a lot of people are really, they were like, LeBron James is being fake, he's being phony and stuff like that, right? Which, in my opinion, that could be true, right? But I think it even goes a little bit deeper than that. I think LeBron James is envious of the fact that Russell Westbrook gets to retire. You know, Russell Westbrook, like I said, had an excellent career. Now he gets to go home and hang out with his wife and his kids, do some traveling, spend some of that money that he made over the course of his career, and just rest. Um, you know, just rest and enjoy life. But LeBron James is not in that position, right? And I think that LeBron James, I think, is envious of that. When you look around and you see his contemporaries are starting to retire. You had Dwayne Wade retire before him, Chris Paul. Now you have Russell Westbrook. I don't think that Steph Curry will probably play too much longer. Draymond Green, a lot of his contemporaries, man, they're getting ready to retire. And I think LeBron James' situation is just so much different from those guys. They try, the media try to make it sound like that LeBron James, he wants to be out there. He's playing at a high level, and they create this narrative around him. But I don't think the situation is like that. And the reason why I think that Russell Westbrook is, and everybody else who's allowed to retire, I think because they put that work in. It reminds, and they earned their retirement. They put their work in, they earned that retirement. And so, it's like when you get a group of kids who had and the teacher make them have to stay after school, right, for bad behavior or something like that, right? Now the kids with good behavior, they go home on time. Then you had the kids with bad behavior, they have to stay. And then whoever conform or do what they are supposed to do, those are the ones who get, they get to leave first. They get to leave early. But the ones who don't, conform, ones who don't live up to the standards, those are the ones who get to stay, who have to stay over. And I think that's LeBron James. When I look at his career, I never really saw LeBron James being passionate about the game. I saw LeBron James take more from the game than he gave. And so the I think that if you somebody in the NBA or associated with the NBA and you see LeBron James taking so much, of course, and people might think that's crazy. Of course, they're going to want LeBron James because they want to recoup their losses. They advance, they give you all this money. They want to know that you have played and left everything on the court. LeBron James, in my opinion, is leaving the NBA and damn near as good a shape as he was when he came in the league, and so if you look at it, if the narrative that they say is true, LeBron James is still playing at a high level after 23, going on 24 years. When you see other greats break down after 15, 13 and 15, years in the league, what does that say? Even LeBron James found the fountain of youth, or LeBron James really didn't put everything he had into that game. And so he can't be like Russell Westbrook. He can't be like Chris Paul. He can't be like who else retired? Dwayne Wade. You know, I do think, and it's becoming more and more obvious. I do think that's playing at that high level in basketball is just some evil stuff going on behind the scenes. And so you had somebody like LeBron James who's really not who never really played hard, and I think LeBron James is being laughed at by Russell Westbrook. Remember when they played together on what team they played for the Lakers. When both of these guys played for the Lakers, Russell Westbrook was like he was the scapegoat. He was the fall guy for everything that went wrong that season that Russell Westbrook played with the Lakers. Man, the media just ate him up, and his friend LeBron James basically just threw him under the bus. Not only did he throw him under the bus, but he never did anything to you know, he never came to Russell's defense as a teammate, as a leader, and so I know Russell Westbrook got to be laughing now. Got to be laughing, man, because this situation with LeBron James, I don't know. Some people say it's going to end tragically with LeBron James. I don't know about that. How tragic? I hope it don't end the same way that Kobe Bryant situation end. But I do think that those advances, and that's what I look at it as advances, right? I think the powers that be just want to recoup. They want to recoup their some of their losses on this advance that they got with LeBron James. He, the load managing, flopping, and not really, being an ambassador for the sport of basketball. I think all that is going to come back to bite him. And so when he see his contemporaries, man, guys who played in the league almost as long as he did, get to retire, man. I know LeBron James got to, this right here has got to be a smack in the face. And I think it's becoming, it's turning into a situation that what's going on around the league, LeBron James is starting to see, that he's in trouble, he's in deep water, and this right here, what we're watching with LeBron James is historic. We never seen anything like this play out. And so even LeBron James fans, they don't want to believe it, but this is historic right here. What LeBron James is going to, now he's not. Some people think, well, he's not the only person that has played over 20 years, and that's true, right? He's not the only, or he's not the first basketball player to have played over 20 years, but a lot about his situation is different than what we've seen with anybody else, like Vince Carter, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Kobe played 20 years. A lot of everybody who played 20 years played because they wanted to. The LeBron James situation is not because he want to play this long, because I don't even really think that LeBron James likes basketball. He's not passionate about basketball. I think LeBron James like what basketball, the life it provides for him and what basketball does for him. But I don't think he liked basketball like that. And that right there, in my opinion, that goes to part of the problem, because he never really played passionate like that. And that was the only way that I could see LeBron James even working himself out of this situation. But he didn't do it. And so now it's time for LeBron James to pay the piper. So right now, Russell Westbrook is getting the last laugh. He get to retire, go home to his family, spend some of this money, whereas though LeBron James don't. And so that's my take on this situation with LeBron James and his his fake congratulations to Russell Westbrook. But yeah, that's it. Make sure to like, subscribe to the channel. Also, don't forget to leave a comment And I'm gonna check y'all out in the next video. Peace.